What's up, guys? We have an 8-game NBA slate for November 12th on this Tuesday. Starting off at point guard, LeBron James at the top, 10.5. I think that he's not going to be a must only for tournaments. Obviously, if Anthony Davis, who is listed probable currently, but we know how he is with injuries, if he were to miss this game, then LeBron's going to be one of the top options, going to be definitely the stud to pay out for. But for now, with 80 listed probable, that's what we got to go with. And with that, then LeBron's not going to be a main option. Next, Lillard, 9.5K. I think he's definitely another tournament option. He's got a ton of upside. We know what kind of player he is. He takes a whole lot of threes, and especially on select DraftKings, that gives you a 3-point bonus. That definitely is going to be in his favor. He's the main guy for Portland, and he's playing a lot of heavy minutes, especially in close games. And the Kings, even though they are without De'Aaron Fox, the Blazers just haven't really looked that great this season. So I do still think that this game will stay close, and they're both pretty fast-paced teams. Portland's gonna get paced up a little bit, so I like the matchup, the situation here for Lillard. Next, Kyrie Irving. I don't really like the matchup. This Utah's really tough, especially when they're at home too. Trae Young, 9.2K. He's getting a whole lot of usage, just basically everything along with Jabari Parker. He's putting up a whole lot of shots, but the matchup against Denver, Gary Harris is probably going to be guarding him. It's a tough matchup in a tough environment to play in, and I just think that you could do better. Devin Booker, 8.1K. He's definitely viable here. We have seen Devin Booker have some really solid games against good teams, good defenses like Philly. He had his best game of the season against them, and Philly, they were, I believe Embiid was suspended for that game, but without him, they still have an amazing team defense. And Josh Richardson, Al Horford, all those guys. So even with the Lakers, which they they're one of the better defenses so far this season, I still like Devin Booker, 8.1K, playing at home. The Suns have been pretty good on both sides of the ball, so this game should be close. Next, Donovan Mitchell. Don't really like him on a back-to-back. Rubio's kind of overpriced now, but Malcolm Brogdon gonna be one of my favorite plays, especially in cash. 7.6K. This game total is really low for some reason right now. It's only around like 210. Indiana was one of the faster-paced teams to start the season. That's come down quite a bit actually, but the Pacers, they have said that they wanted to play faster so far, or this season compared to last year. Maybe it's because of like the recent matchup against teams that do play slow, like Orlando, Detroit. But Indiana's gonna be without a lot of their key guys here. Miles Turner's already ruled out, along with Jeremy Lamb, and so there's a lot of usage that's gonna open up here. And even though OKC has some guys that can defend, like Chris Paul, SGA, they're not like something that you're gonna shy away from. And just the usage, the price, how well Brogdon's been playing, I really like him at 7.6K. I think elsewhere for that, looking down here, CJ McCollum, 6.5K. He's another option if you want to save, get a piece of that Blazer side of the ball, because he's 3K cheaper and he gets the same exact matchup against the Kings. He's also going to be the other guy that gets a whole lot of minutes. He's going to put up a whole lot of shots. His peripherals are kind of inconsistent, but obviously, if he's shooting well, because he does take a lot of shots, and especially in this fast-paced game, he's going to have close to 20 shots, possibly over. So I really like him. Jamal Murray, another guy that I like. Depending on ownership, probably going to be overweight on whoever the field is not on as much, because I think Jamal Murray has just as much upside as CJ McCollum, even though he's behind Jokic and they're a little bit more well-rounded. Both of them are in pace-up matchups, and Murray's $200 cheaper here. Yes, Nikola Jokic is going to be probably the chalky play. I'll get to him later, but Jamal Murray is a guy that has 50-point upside, and he showed it. He's a guy that will get you rebounds and assists as well. He did recently have a foot injury, so you have to make sure that he's okay on that, but he's a guy that gets you a lot of shots, and he's in a good matchup against Trae Young, so I like him. Conley's in a pretty good matchup, but I think I prefer Murray McCollum. And then looking down, Goran Dragic, 5.6K is Detroit. Justice Winslow's already out, and they do have a lot of other guys out, like Derek Jones Jr., and a lot of questionable guys like Tyler Hero. So I do think that Goran Dragic could be worth a shot here in tournaments, especially if guys like Tyler Hero are out, because then that means that Dragic is going to get a lot more usage, a lot more ball handling. And Detroit against point guards, they haven't been that great so far, especially with Derrick Rose, who's definitely not known as for defense. Same thing with Tim Frazier. And elsewhere, I think going down for value, there's going to be a very chalky play here. Corey Joseph, 3.7K. Probably going to be starting for De'Aaron Fox here. Damian Lillard isn't anything to be scared of on defense. So Corey Joseph, if he's going to play close or over 30 minutes, 3.7K, he's probably going to be getting you at least 20 DraftKings points. And with the value that just he gives you to open up other spots, I really like him for now. If other value opens up, definitely maybe you can pivot. But for right now, Corey Joseph is the clear-cut best value play down here. Moving on to shooting guard for guys that I haven't mentioned. Zach LaVine's interesting against New York. Both teams are not that great, so probably someone's going to go off in this game. And Buddy Hield, 6.6K, probably going to pick up a little bit more usage, but it's more about ball handling, so it's going to be about Corey Joseph and Bogdanovic. But probably some shots. He's going to be the guy that they look to always off screens, everything. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league. He gets you some rebounds, assists. He's going to really do a whole lot there, same thing with defense, but he's a scorer, and we know how easy it is for guys that can't score the basketball to get DraftKings points and three-point bonus as well. Down here, Will Barn, I think he might be popular here in a good matchup, but I just don't really think these rebounding numbers are going to be sustainable. He's shooting, he's taking a whole lot more shots, so that's good to see, and his minutes are pretty good right now, but his rebounds definitely aren't going to be there. He's not the kind of rebounder that we've seen, and his price is all the way up to 6K now. The matchup's good, definitely, but just the price for me, it's a little bit too expensive. Josh Richardson, 5.7K. If Ben Simmons is out, who is questionable right now, I think he's maybe with a shot, but he can sometimes just disappear. He's not really a guy that we see a whole lot of ceiling games. He definitely has a nice ceiling of 40, but if Simmons is in, I'm probably not going to have any of him. If Simmons is out, I just prefer guys like Tobias and Joel Embiid. And then Bogdanovic, 5.4K, going to be a pretty solid play in my opinion. I think his price going up is going to actually turn a lot of people away, but he's playing a lot better from what we've seen. His minutes are going up, and now without De'Aaron Fox, he's going to have to handle the ball a whole lot more, especially with the second unit, because Corey Joseph probably starts with the first, so Bogdan will handle. So I think that you can definitely play both of these guys in the same lineup. He's shooting a whole lot better. He's probably going to get you double-digit shots. His minutes are going to be probably into the 30s. In a pretty high scoring matchup. So I like Bogdanovic quite a bit here. Dinwiddie, tough matchup, same with Kyrie, but without Karis LeVert, he's going to have to do a whole lot more. Could potentially start, but I just like the more ball handling opportunity that he's going to get. But the matchup's tough, so probably not going to go there. Kendrick Nunn, 4.7K against Detroit. It's not a good matchup. Two teams that play pretty slow, but if Tyler Hero is out, Kendrick Nunn probably is going to pick up all, or not all, but like a lot of those minutes, and he's pretty scoring dependent though. But if he gets you 30 minutes, he's been playing pretty well, not as of late, but if he gets more minutes, he probably is going to have a lot more opportunity, so probably worth a tournament shot if you're playing a lot of lineups. Gary Harris, similar, he's pretty scoring dependent, he's more known for his defense, but he's just a guy that is in a good matchup, and they're going to need his defense out there, especially against Trae Young here. His minutes should be pretty heavy because of the matchup, and he's a guy that definitely can get hot from three. He's not going to take a whole lot of shots, but he's a good defender. He can rebound, assist a little bit, and if he can just knock down his threes, very scoring dependent. His price is okay, and the matchup is good, but tournament only. Down here, not really much else. Small forward. LeBron, I already mentioned him. Good play if AD is out. Kelly Oubre, 6K. I can definitely see a few of these Suns players going off, especially with them playing at home against the Lakers. They've been able to stay competitive a lot, and they're not that bad of a team like we've seen in recent years. Oubre has not had good games lately, but in the beginning of the season, he was a guy that was just constantly getting you 30 plus, and At 6K, that price is a little bit too low. That's what his season average is so far. But in a matchup that should be pretty fast paced, probably high scoring, and I think Uber is just gonna definitely have the same kind of rule into the 30s and minutes as long as the game stays close, not in foul trouble. He's a guy that should be able to get you easily 30 DraftKings points, and he has a pretty nice ceiling of 40 plus. TJ Warren 5.7K. I feel like might be a little bit chalky, and depending on how it goes, I think I'm probably gonna be underweight because with the heavy minutes that he's been playing and the shots that he's been getting, he really doesn't do a whole lot. And TJ Warren, we know from like last year and previous seasons, he's a guy that can definitely go cold while shooting. He's not like a 3-point specialist or anything. He's definitely more of like just a score, mid-range kind of layup guy. And if he's not able to score, if he just has a bad shooting game, and with the low total, I think that I'd just rather play guys like Malcolm Brogdon. His price at 5.7K and how like there's just that opponent rank green 27th. If you actually look at the numbers, Thunder actually are not that bad. They're like kind of middle of the pack towards the bottom almost in terms of giving up points to opposing small forwards. So the matchup isn't that great, honestly. Sure, his usage and shots are going to be there, but if he's not able to make them, it's not going to be good because he's not able to contribute elsewhere. Next, for a value play, I don't think anyone's really talking about him, is Rodney Hood because he's currently questionable, but he's probable. 3.4K. Again, the matchup, the Kings are not good defensively. They play so fast, and he was chalk a few slates ago, and he only got you 14.8. And then lastly, he got hurt. So a lot of people have been burned by a guy or by this guy, and probably they're gonna shy away from him. They don't want to play him again. They don't want to take a chance on him, but his price is down now, and he should definitely play solid minutes into the 30s. Kent Bazemore has been playing pretty well. They do have wings like Mario Hezonja, but he's mainly played the 4. So I like Rodney Hood here. He's a guy that has played really well since being acquired by Portland, and we know him as a very talented scorer. He's going to rebound a bit because he's played small forward, and he's going to be in the corner, spacing the floor for Lillard and McCollum. So in a matchup that is really nice and possibly some low ownership, if there's no other value than Corey Joseph, I think that Rodney Hood's worth a shot in tournaments and possibly for even cash. For power force 80, we don't know. If he plays the injury, it definitely is scary, but the upside is insane, and we know the kind of guy AD is. Usually when he's chalk, he probably hits the locker room. If he's not, he could go off for like 70. Demonis Sabonis 8.4K. He's probably going to play a whole lot of minutes because they don't have Turner or Goga, and he's been playing a lot of minutes lately. OKC, even with centers like Adams and Noel, Adams who's currently questionable, they're both known for their defense, but the Thunder haven't been that good against opposing centers. They're middle of the pack. Sabonis is just like a lock for an easy double-double, and he's been getting a lot of boards. His assists have been really nice as well. He's not known for his defense, but he's a really talented offensive player, and at 8.4K, I think he's probably like a lock for at least 40 DraftKings points, and he has a really nice ceiling. Last game, like in the tough matchup against Orlando, who are still solid defensively and they play slow, he was able to put you 56 points. It's just a really nice play. The situation, everything about it is really nice for Sabonis. Down a little bit, Blake Griffin could be out. If he's out for rest, Drummond definitely becomes a lot more intriguing. Julius Randle 7.2K. The Bulls are very bad rebounding the ball, so Randle could definitely have one of his monster rebounding games. And he's a guy that has a whole lot of upside because he handles his ball, he gets a lot of assists sometimes, and he definitely scores. So if he gets his minutes, he's playing well, definitely can get you a really nice ceiling. He got you 55 last game. He has shown upside of 60. So in a nice matchup, I think Randle makes for a nice tournament play. And Tobias Harris, 6.8K, if Simmons were to be out, he's a guy that's going to play a whole lot of power forward in this game because Al Horford's out. And rebounding the ball, he's been doing that very well recently. This season, he's averaging 8.6 rebounds. He takes on a whole lot more usage with a lot of these Sixers out. So if Simmons is out, that makes Harris a lot better of a play. And even with Simmons in, Tobias still has been a very worthy play like we've seen with all of his games so far this season. Down a little bit more. Kyle Kuzma, if AD were to be out, probably going to be one of the better value plays if he's out because he's not on a minutes restriction anymore, and that probably means that Kuzma's going to play into the 30s in minutes, and the match was pretty nice. So if 80 were to be out, Kuzma's probably going to be a very good play. Myers Leonard's really thin, but if Kelly Olynyk were to be ruled out, somebody has to play, especially if Blake Griffin's out. Miami's not going to be able to go small with only Bam at the center, so without Derek Jones to take minutes, Myers Leonard could play a little bit more than he's been playing. He's been losing minutes after some pretty solid games in the early on in the season, but if Olynyk is out, Detroit, Blake Griffin, Drummond are both starting. Myers Leonard probably needs to play a lot more minutes than 12, so he could be worth a shot. Center, Joel Embiid, going to be one of my favorite plays without Al Horford. And if Simmons is going to be out too, I'm going to really like Joel Embiid. He's underpriced, 9.4K. He's a 5-digit price tag kind of guy. Cleveland, they're not known for their defense. It's just because they play slow. So that's why fantasy-wise, they're not really that good of a matchup. But we know the kind of guy Embiid is. He's such a high-usage player. He's a guy that can absolutely dominate inside. He's pretty much unguardable. And if this game stays close, he's playing at home, he's going to get for sure double-digit shots as long as he's not injured or in foul trouble. He's probably just going to absolutely smash this matchup because Tristan Thompson's not a good defender. And he's underpriced, so I really like Embiid. The problem with that is if Blake Griffin were to miss, Drummond at 8.9K is going to be too cheap. And Nikola Jokic, probably the best play, going to be my favorite play. Because of the price, the matchup, Atlanta's not good. They play fast, they don't play defense, and Jokic plays better at home. He hasn't had the same kind of success that we've been seeing, but we know what kind of Jokic, or what kind of guy Jokic is. He is a guy that gets you triple doubles with ease. He hasn't been doing that a whole lot lately, but we know that's the kind of upside he has, and his minutes are going to be there. And 8.3K is just so cheap. Like, even if it's a blowout, he's probably going to have a whole lot to do with that. And he's priced that, like, that he's going to bust. Like, for DraftKings points, like, he's not going to do that. He has a crazy ceiling of 70 plus, and Jokic 8.3K is just way too cheap. That's the problem, because Embiid's a good play, but Jokic could be a guy that outscores all these centers above him. Definitely can play both, but there are some value center guys. Like, if a guy like Alex Len were to miss, Damian Jones, if AD's out, Dwight Howard, Steven Adams is out, Nerlens Noel, and Bobby Portis, if you're looking for a mid-range play. This is a guy that definitely has revenge on his mind. He played like it last game. He's going to go back to Chicago this time, and he is going to play in the mid-range for 20s and minutes, and if he's playing well, possibly in the 30s, he's a guy that rebounds really well. This is a terrific matchup for rebounding. Chicago does not rebound the ball well. Laurie is not a good rebounder. Wendell Carter is just kind of undersized, and he's a guy that absolutely takes a lot of shots coming off the bench. If he shoots well, he's absolutely going to destroy 5.5K. He shot 2 of 10 last game, but he still got you 29.8, which is over 5x. At 5,500, this is too cheap. He's a guy that just absolutely dominates the usage when he's on the court. Takes a whole lot of shots, and he probably is going to get the opportunity because Mitchell Robinson is out for this game. So Bobby Portis, Taj Gibson going to be the guys at center. Randall probably plays a little bit there, but like this matchup, it's really nice. Definitely worth a tournament shot. And Nerlens Noel, Tomas Sabonis is anything to be scared of without Steven Adams, or if Steven Adams is out, I should say. Nerlens Noel is priced up a little bit, but he's definitely still worth an option. And then down, I mentioned Dwight Howard, probably going to pick up more minutes if AD is out. And then also Damian Jones, who's pretty down at 3.3K. He played a lot of minutes in terms of what we usually see. And for 3.3K center, it's just going to be a value play if Alex Len is out. Probably minutes are going to be there because they're going to need size to defend Nikola Jokic, Mason Plumlee, Millsap, Jeremy Grant. So he's probably going to be out there. Could definitely get into foul trouble because of Jokic and the kind of usage that he gets. But I think it's more of a tournament play, even if Alex Len is out. It's just because of like the opportunity cost. If you were to play Embiid and you were to play Jokic, then there's no way you can get to another center. And these guys could definitely both go off for 50 plus. So if you're paying down to save for value play, they better do really well. And all these expensive centers better not do that well. So it's going to be really tough to go down at center. I would definitely prefer to go with Embiid and Jokic right now, especially if Ben Simmons is out for Embiid. That just becomes a lock. And then Corey Joseph is going to be the best value play as of now. And I really like Malcolm Brogdon. So these are the 4 plays that I really like as of now. I think if you're looking for like a 5th play, I'm probably going to try to get a piece of this Portland side of the ball. So I'm going to put in CJ McCollum. But again, with him, I could definitely just go to Jamal Murray if I need like $200 in savings or if McCollum's ownership is too high. But as of now, my favorite play is Nikola Jokic, and Corey Joseph is the best value play. It's going to be very chalky, but I just think you take it. And Joseph, Brogdon, Embiid, McCollum, Jokic, my favorite 5 plays as of now. But remember, it's an 8-game slate, so there's probably going to be some injury news that we're going to watch, especially with Miami and Atlanta. But that's the 5 that I like right now. So that's the video. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you have any questions about the slate or anything in general for DFS, please leave a comment down below. Also, you can just ask me on my Twitter at ballfuls.com or DM me if you have any questions. So thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.